good evening. Welcome back to Hellhound's Late Night Spook Show here on the Horror and Metal channel. We're going to do a quick album review today, and the album I went with is one's a little more obscure, probably really elitist, really dedicated metalheads know about this one, but the general average metal listener may not. I think this is a band that most diehard metal enthusiasts know about, but we're going to talk about the debut album of Vio-lence, Eternal Nightmare. Yes. This is one of my favorite thrash metal albums. Probably I'd say maybe my top 30 or so. Well, let's go and find out why. So the lineup consists of Sean Killian, really metal name, but more on him in a little bit. Of course, Rob Flynn, who wanted to form Machine Head on guitar. Phil Dimmel, who also played with Machine Head for a while on guitar. Dean Dell on bass, and Perry Strickland on drums. So, first of all, let me just get out of the way. The instrumentations are fantastic. When you first put this record in, you're going to be just assaulted and annihilated in a good way by all these fierce, venomous, aggressive riffs and insanely mind-blowing drum beats. Yeah, just totally blown away by the awesome instruments. Yeah, when I first listened to this, I was like, wow, this is heavy as hell for thrash metal. This is like the missing link between Exodus and something like Demolition Hammer. But yeah, it's a fantastic album. All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, Sean Killian's vocals. All right, so yeah, when I first listened to this, I was very unimpressed. I was just like, oh my gosh, why would a thrash metal band this good get a glorified punk singer to sing for them? Yeah, like, I'm not a big fan of punk. I don't know a whole lot about it, but from what little I've heard, I think that Sean Killian would be great. I mean, fantastic in a punk band. I think he would be like one of the best, and I do think he has a great attitude, like a great stage presence. He's a good frontman. I've seen his live shows. Like, he runs around, like he kneels down and screams, and like he really knows how to work a crowd, work an audience. He's got great stage energy and great showmanship. You know, very theatrical and just very involved, and that energy is very infectious. But his voice, at least on this album, sounds like like a whiny 12-year-old who's just going through puberty. And a lot of the vocal lines are very repetitive and monotonous. It kind of sounds like the same thing. They're not very well arranged and coordinated. It just kind of sounds like, no matter what riff the guitarists are playing, he just kind of sings the same the same melody and the same tune, and he tries to sound to be angry, but just kind of sounds kind of cringeworthy. But yeah, like I said, in a punk band, he'd be great. Now, having said that, however, I think it does, having a singer like Sean Killian, who I think is still the weak point of the lineup, it does make them very unique. Now, thrash metal is not known for having amazing, technically really gifted vocalists with a wide range. You don't have to have a Halford or a Dickinson for a thrash metal band. But even Paul Bailoff and Dave Mustaine had the right amount of anger and attitude in the voice. Sean's got it right when it comes to stage presence and interviews and stuff. When it comes to the voice, that snarl, just that just anything other than I don't even know what the lyrics are. But having said that, his voice has grown on me, and every time I listen to this album, I think I like it a little more and more. And like I said, it does make them unique. I just do think it holds this album back just a little bit. They only did maybe 2 other albums after this. I haven't heard much from those. From little I've heard, it's not bad. But yeah, with a vocalist that fits a little more, with a Steve Souza or a Chuck Billy, I'd say this album would be a 9 or a 10. When you take Sean Killian's vocals into account, I think it averages out to maybe a 7.5 or a very generous 8. But like I said, I'm not knocking him. He doesn't ruin this band by any means. I can still listen to this album and still, really start headbanging uncontrollably. To the instruments alone, and like I said, his voice did grow on me, and now when I listen to these songs, I can't picture anybody else singing for this band. And if I ever saw them live, I would definitely want him to be the frontman, because he's just got insanely involved stage presence, very active and just very energetic and just very furious. His attitude and his actions, his mannerisms is all perfect for thrash metal, but his voice, again, it could be a lot worse, but it could be a lot better too. But it's not his fault. So yeah, he probably doesn't belong in the band overall. But like I said, after listening to this album so much, I do think that Well, he's not really a good fit, but I do think that I'm just so used to it that it did kind of grow on me, and like I said, it does make them a little more individual, you know, like they have their own identity. Now I guess the band's still around. I don't know if they're really touring or releasing new music. They kind of broke up and got back together a few times. They've had a few lineup changes. I believe, yeah, Sean Killian's still in the band. I can't remember what the other members are. I think Phil Dimmel came back. I can't remember if he's still in it or not. I think Perry Strickland is. I can't remember if he's with them or not. You know, I don't really know much about the current Vio-lence. When it comes to the band, I'm only really familiar with this album. Yeah, awesome cover too. Perfect for thrash metal. And yeah, I highly recommend you check it out. But just be warned. Just maybe a little forewarning. Just prepare yourself for vocals that aren't really the best fit. Because I wasn't. I had no idea when I first listened to this. I was like, this is awesome. Why is this band not more well known? And then his voice came in. I was like, oh, that's why. But, you know, like I said, it's all good. It's still pretty cool. You know, makes them stand out. So yeah, Eternal Nightmare by Vio-lence. I highly recommend this album, regardless of what I said about Sean, and I highly recommend you check it out if you're into really aggressive, really awesome, very creative, very unique riffs that don't sound derivative at all, and just you know, insane beats, insane instrumentation, and a singer who probably belongs in a punk band, but still gets the job done and is adequately sufficient enough. You know, it's not great, but it's optimal enough. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching my channel. Give this album a listen. I'm Hellhound. Thank you for watching the horror and metal channel. Till next time, later.